Hi guys, so last lesson we talked about photosynthesis, kind of what it is and what it involves, and now we need to talk about the rate of photosynthesis and what that kind of means. So on this slide there are a couple of questions that I want you to have a go at answering. Now you might want to watch the whole video first and then have a go at them, but you just need to finish off the sentences. A limiting factor in a reaction is something that ... So explain what a limiting factor is, and then limiting factors for photosynthesis could be. So you need to come back to that in a minute and finishing it off. So first of all, we need to know what the word rate means, and again this might be something you've come across in chemistry. The rate of reaction is how fast something happens. So the rate of photosynthesis is basically how much photosynthesis is happening in what space of time. So how quickly is photosynthesis happening? How much photosynthesis is happening within 1 second? Those kinds of questions, that's the rate. So if you have a fast rate of reaction or a high rate of reaction, then that is happening quite a lot in a short space of time. And if you have a low rate of reaction or a slow rate of reaction, it's not happening very much in that given space of time. So have a minute and think, what do you think could affect the rate of photosynthesis? So what affects how quickly photosynthesis happens? Feel free to pause the video at this point and just think about that. Okay, so things that affect the rate of photosynthesis, number one is light or sunlight. How much light is available? For example, if it's pitch black outside, a plant's rate of photosynthesis is nothing, it's zero. There is no photosynthesis going on. If there's a very small amount of light, so let's say it's daytime but it's raining, it's a cloudy day, then that's going to be quite a low rate of reaction. If it is a beautiful sunny day, then the rate of reaction is going to be quite high because there's lots of sunlight. Okay, next thing is carbon dioxide levels. Now carbon dioxide, obviously if there's more carbon dioxide, there's going to be a higher rate of reaction for photosynthesis, and if there's less carbon dioxide, there'll be a lower rate of reaction for photosynthesis. However, naturally carbon dioxide levels are kind of always quite consistent, so it doesn't really limit the reaction, it's just always the same. Temperature is another one, so the hotter it is, the faster photosynthesis will happen. So on a really cold day, if it's a bit frosty, photosynthesis levels are going to be quite low, but if it's a nice warm day out like it is today, the photosynthesis levels are going to be quite high. The next one is the amount of water. So if a plant is well watered, then again lots of photosynthesis. If it's not well watered, then not so much photosynthesis. Now for all of these we can kind of see them here. So the reactants, the things, the substrates, the things that are going into the photosynthesis reaction, carbon dioxide, water and sunlight, if there's less of them, then there's going to be less. Think about it like this. If you're making a cake and you have less ingredients, you're going to make less cupcakes. But if you double the amount of ingredients you're putting in, you'll make twice the amount of cupcakes or twice the amount of cake. Same idea, if you double the amount of this going into this photosynthesis reaction, your rate of reaction is going to be twice as fast. Okay, now what affects water? Now obviously it's how much rainfall there is or how much you water a plant, but also if it's quite a windy day, water gets pulled out of the plant through the transpiration much faster, so that can make it lose water quickly. Also, if it's quite a warm day, then we can lose water quite quickly, which is interesting. So we want a nice high temperature for photosynthesis to happen, but too high and it dries out the plant. Another thing is the amount of chlorophyll. Now remember, chloroplasts have chlorophyll in, and that's where actual photosynthesis takes place. So again, back to my cake analogy, if you relate photosynthesis to making a cake, if you have 100 cake factories open at once compared to one cake factory open at once, the 100 one is going to have 100 times more cakes produced. It's the same idea. If you have 10 chlorophyll, then that's going to be a much lower rate of reaction than if you had 100 chlorophyll, because there's more places for photosynthesis to happen. What I want you to do after you've watched this video is to make some notes on the PowerPoint and answer the questions that are in OneNote.